Today I'm going to talk about how to grow tamarind tree here in Arizona, and not only grow, but what are some of the learnings and tips that I have found based on my experience over last 5-6 years of growing tamarind. So tamarind tree is native to tropical countries such as India, and it's a huge tree in tropical countries. But here in Arizona, since summers are only 4 or 5 months and then winters are probably 3 to 4 months, the tree actually goes dormant during the winter months, and because of that the only growing season it has is actually from month of mid-April to May, all the way through September or early October, and then from October through March, April, the tree actually stays kind of semi-dormant, and because of that, the tree actually does not grow into a full-size tree, but can be grown more as a tall bush, like what I had done here. So this is a 3-gallon plant that had been planted on the south side of the yard in full sun with no afternoon shade at all, and it was planted about 5.5 years ago, and now it has grown into this 5 to 6 feet tall bush looking tree, and it is growing on the south side, as I said, in full sun. Do not plant it in any shade at all, it will not grow as vigorously and it will not fruit at all. Also, the second most important thing about growing tamarind in Arizona is water it as a tropical tree, meaning do not overwater it just because it's a tropical tree, but instead water it once a week in peak summer, even in full sun, and then in the early spring and late fall cut down to watering about once every couple of weeks, and then do not water it at all when temperatures drop down to 40s and 30s, which would be from mid-November through early to mid-February here in Arizona. So water sparingly, do not waterlog it. And then the third and the most important thing about how to get tamarind to fruit is to know where it actually fruits. So if you notice, this is where the fruits are appearing, and they do appear at the tip of this tertiary branch, meaning there is the main trunk and then there is a secondary branch that opens up, and then there is a third or the tertiary branch, and at the tip of those tertiary branches is where the tamarind would flower, and then flowers will appear through the whole summer and fall, and then it takes about 8 to 9 months for the flowers to grow from small fruits to fruits of any considerable size. First couple of years when it starts fruiting, which would be after 3 to 4 years after planting, if you do everything correct, the fruits might not hold, but as the tree starts getting matured and as long as it's in full sun, it will hold the fruits and let it grow to bigger sizes. So right now this is about 5.5 years in the ground, and the fruits have been holding on to the tree for about 6 months now, and they still need to grow to be able to grow to any viable fruit as a tamarind fruit. And then the last thing is, when you want to protect it, especially in deep winter, if the temperature goes below 30 degrees, you can protect it just with any ordinary shade cloth or a winter cloth, or I would just wrap around a typical blanket, and it should be able to survive the cold temperatures that we get here in Phoenix, Arizona area. and anything that you put in the hole, do not overdo with compost and mulch, only on the top, and then keep the tree planted in native soil. So there you go. Tamarind tree is one of the most rewarding trees to grow here in Arizona. It will fruit eventually after 5-6 years, and we'll see how these fruits develop, and I will update it when the fruits develop.